Hey, what's going on everyone? Zach here from Imperium Racing in the garage, working on the Impreza, the silver one, and I'm going to show you how to remove the interior door panel today. I'm going to do the front passenger door, but all the doors are pretty similar. I'll even review the rear door just for shits and giggles. And this will be the first of many videos on the Impreza, so if you are just tuning in, subscribe, follow, whatever, so you get notifications on videos. I'm gonna do a window regulator, side mirror replacement, window glass replacement, door lock actuator, all that stuff on the Impreza. So subscribe if you wanna see all those videos, because there's gonna be a lot on this car. And if you're someone who's watched any of our videos before and you're like, what the heck, Zach, I thought your Subaru Impreza was blue, you're not wrong. My Impreza is blue and it's outside. And this is also my Impreza and it's silver and it's f***ed. I'm actually working on a video right now explaining why I have a silver Impreza as well. You're just gonna have to stay tuned and wait for those videos to come out. So lots of good stuff coming on this car. Stay tuned to figure out how I got it and why I got it and what the heck I'm doing with it. I'll briefly go over how the door panel comes off, and then I'll briefly go over what tools you need, and then I will take it off and show you. All right, so there's only a couple screws to take this door panel off. It's actually extremely easy. There's one screw in here and one screw right here. Both of them have small plastic covers that you need to pop off first, and behind that is just a Phillips head screw. After you get those two screws out, you just have to pop the door panel off, which these door panels are a little bit hard to get off. That's kind of normal. But these are a little bit harder than some other ones I've done. So a panel popper would be nice to help with that. That is screw one. That is screw two. As you can see, there's a slight indentation on one side of the plastic flap. That's where you're gonna stick your very small flathead screwdriver and pop the cover off. After that, there is a Phillips head screw behind it. Take those two screws out. Big ass spider web right there. After we get the door panel off, I'll show you how to detach everything. Obviously the handle is attached and the switch is for the window. On the driver's side, it's basically the same thing. The switch is a little bit bigger, but it's the same thing. All right, so this is basically all of the tools that you need. A Phillips head screwdriver, a flathead screwdriver, and a panel popper interior trim tool to get the door panel off. One of these little rivet poppers is nice in case some of your plastic pieces on the door panel get stuck in the door and don't stay on the door panel. That happens pretty frequently. So you might need something like this to pry them out and stick them back on the door panel. Now I have electric tools, so I'm gonna use this instead of a Phillips because it is faster, but there's only two screws, so really it's not gonna save me that much time. You are totally fine using hand tools. I tried a pocket screwdriver and it was kind of not enough to get the plastic tabs off. You need a little more leverage and a little wider lip on the ends. So that is why I'm using a regular small flathead as opposed to a pocket screwdriver. Those bad boys just pop right up. Not too hard. Pocket screwdriver was much harder, so I recommend just kind of a normal size flathead. Now we need a Phillips. They are just pretty basic, normal Phillips, nothing crazy, nothing small, nothing big. I am using my left hand, so I'd call that pretty good. Alrighty, now we got one screw out, two screw out. The trim on the top is fine. What's gonna happen is the trim on the top needs to be slid straight up. So you wanna start by popping somewhere along the bottom of the door panel. I'm gonna start over here because it's easiest to get my tool in, and then pull that out, pull out the whole bottom and work my way up to the top. Once you get all the plastic tabs out, then you can slide the door panel straight up off of the seal. All right, as I said, these door panels are pretty freaking snug, so it's actually pretty hard to get the tool in there. As you can see, I just held it, popped it in with my hand, and it seems like this spot's easiest. It's kind of hard up here. I couldn't get it in. So right down here is easiest. Now I'm gonna pull this out, get it to start popping off, and then work my way all the way around. Okay, so that was all the tabs. You can see the panel is completely loose. That's what I was talking about. Sometimes those tabs stay on the door. And now we're gonna slide the panel straight up. Going straight up, comes off. Now don't drop it, because you could rip your connections out. The only way the door handle is held on is these two screws. Yes, you can undo these cables, but that's a whole bunch of work and unnecessary, and trust me, it'll be way more annoying. So I recommend taking these two Phillips head screws out, and then you just have to take these two connectors off, and the door panel will be free. So again, that's the handle and the switches. Two silver screws right here, and this whole assembly will come out, and it'll have the handle on it and the lock on it. It'll just come off the door panel, which is perfectly fine. And then these connectors you want to get off, which are pretty easy. This one you push here. So again, push down on this tab, slide it out. You can use a screwdriver to push down on the tab while you kind of pry it out. Just be very careful, because you could easily break it if you're not actually pushed down on the tab all the way. So this tab right where my finger is pushes into the clip, and then the clip slides out. And this one has the same deal, just on the top here. Push this in, slide out. Push down on that. This is on the top, or actually it's on the bottom, towards the ground. Push down on that, pull it out. Big one, same thing. Push down on that, right there, right here, and pull out. And then these two screws, and your lock assembly will come off. See how that all comes off as one piece. Those two plugs, and that's all you need. Don't lose the screw if you dropped it like me. And that's all you need to take the door panel off. So yeah, that's how you get the door panel off. And then we're going back together. Just make sure you clip these in all the way. And remember, this handle, those two top tabs slide in first. Slide those in, screw on the bottom. It's very important to note that this piece goes on the back of the handle. So when you're putting the handle back on, it goes in the door panel like this. So this is the back of it. On the bottom, these holes are pretty big and they don't line themselves up. So it has this plastic piece over it. It sits like that, right around the ridges. And that's where the screws go. You can tell because there's witness marks on this from the screw head. So make sure you put that back on and then the screw in to help line it up. And I'll show you how I'm gonna get all these tabs out. Easiest thing I found, these have really tight ridges. They're really tight against the door. So I use this one to get in there first and pop it out a little bit. Now that I have it out just a little bit, I'm going to use big panel popper because it's got the angle and a little bigger opening on the end of it. Get behind it. Really easy with that one. So these are probably the hardest ones I've ever had to take out, to be honest. So I'm just going with 2 tools here. Get in there first with this, get it out a little bit, and then put the big red in there. It's working though. And then reassemble in reverse order, everybody. All right, just taking a peek at the rear door, and I see the same 2 holes for screws. So door panel is slightly different shape, a little smaller, but it looks like the exact same job. So this will work for both front doors or both rear doors on Subaru Impreza. This is a 2012, but most cars are going to be something very, very similar to this. The only thing is to make sure you get all of the screws out before you start yanking on the door panel. That's the only important thing. And sometimes cars will have a cover that comes off like right here, will like pop off, and there's a screw behind it. So look for trim pieces that look like they come off. But if you find 2 screws, especially if you find 3, that's probably all there is. Always function test everything we do. Mine works. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you guys checking out the video. A lot more videos coming on the Subaru and some other stuff, DIY stuff, some more racing stuff going on. So lots of stuff. Subscribe if you want to check it out. And video coming soon on why I bought the silver Subaru behind me. Good luck on your own DIYs. Thanks again for watching.
Peace.
I'll show you.